I've been playing every single 3D Zelda game before the release of Tears of the Kingdom. I'm about to start Breath of the Wild soon on stream, so be sure to check that out, but here's a recap for now. So let's start off with Ocarina of Time. We wake up Nabragir and totally not kill the Deku Tree, sneak past the guards in Hyrule Castle, talk to Zelda, play the Ocarina, get a spiritual stone from Darunia and a hug from the boys, swim a bit to Zoro's domain, get eaten by a fish and then completely rupture their insides. They now have 3 unknown diseases. We head back to Hyrule Castle and Zelda chucks us the name of the game and we enter the Temple of Time. For day 2, we start off by trying to get to the Forest Temple and surprisingly spend an entire hour before we enter it. We boggle our minds at the Forest Temple until nabbing a key where no sane person would look. We beat up Phantom Ganon, totally, and then we go to get our horse Epona, which then leads us to creating a paradox, which then leads us to the well, and oh my goodness, how is this in a children's game? For day 3, we keep it pretty simple. We do some exploring and figure out how to get to the Fire Temple. We then proceed into the Fire Temple to get owned by game mechanics. But after we clear the temple, we head on over to Zora's domain, which has to be the chillest spot in Hyrule. We run through the Ice Cave and get the Iron Boots, as well as getting Farore's Wind, Din's Fire, and finally the Blue Tunic from the Zora King. And we are ready to take on the Water Temple. We start off right into the Water Temple, and oh boy, you lads were not joking about the Water Temple. The Dark Link fight was awesome, as well as the dungeon boss. So we leave and get fire arrows, do some fishing, and head over to Kakariko Village. Oh, good thing we got the... Then we make our way through Gerudo Valley and Gerudo Fortress, and now we head deeper into the desert. Instead of going through the desert, we realize that we need hover boots to get through the sand, but what exactly are hover boots? Time for the Shadow Temple. We fend off the horrors and nab the hover boots, as well as catch a ride on the boat and give a big bonk to Bongo Bongo. Now we try to get ice arrows, but whoops, no arms. And with that, we get ready for the Spirit Temple and get another bottle. Today we headed to the Spirit Temple, nabbed the Silver Gauntlets and then the Mirror Shield. We fought Twin Rova, the fight is awesome. Once all the sages are awakened, it is time for Ganon's castle. We shoot the 6 pimples and head up for a nice tennis match with Ganondorf until he gets so mad he violates so many OSHA regulations. We beat him up, save Hyrule, and now with Ocarina of Time finished, it's time for Majora's Mask. We now start up Majora's Mask and we instantly get mugged by the name of the game. We play hide and seek, have a flashback, and make our way towards the Woodfall Temple. After making our way through the temple, we fight the boss and end up taking 30 minutes to try and find the last stray fairy, and then another 30 minutes trying to get to the fairy fountain. After that, we nab the fairy mask, that would have been handy. We get the bomber's notebook and return to dawn of the first day. We go into the freezing tundra of Snowhead and decide that physics don't apply to us. Then shortly after, we do some grave robbing, people robbing. How do I classify this? After heading into Snowhead Temple, we run through it with ease and then we fight the goat. After restoring warmth to the land, we participate in some races and upgrade our sword to the Gilded Sword and return to dawn of the first day. We mainly focus on getting masks today as we march with some chickens and shoot down some aliens. After that, we stop some crime and help out an invisible man to get a few more masks. Then heading to Great Bay, we get the Zora mask, enter the Gerudo Pirate Fortress to nab the lost Zora eggs, which just so happened to teach us the most banger song of all time, and that lets us enter the Great Bay Temple and return to dawn of the first day. 10 straight days in a row. You know what that means? Great Bay Temple. We nab the ice arrows and get our defense upgrade from the Great Fairy. Going to the George fight, we complete it with relative ease. Then we go to the races, talk to some ghosts, learn the Song of Storms, heal some old dude, and then bust a move. For day 11, we kill some spiders and nab the Mask of Truth and the Big Boy wallet, and then we do the longest quest chain in the entire game while getting a multitude of masks in the process. Was this quest worth it? Yeah. The rest of the day was spent preparing for the Gibdo trading quest, and tomorrow we complete the Stone Tower and beat the game. Today we finished the Stone Tower Temple, and I have to say that it is my favorite dungeon of the entire game. After we clear that, we go and confront Skull Kid on the final day, and this was not what I expected at all. We go play hide and seek with the 4 spirit kids before getting the Fierce Deity's mask and absolutely destroying Majora, although we do still beat him regularly. And with Majora's Mask completed, now it's time for Wind Waker. Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda game as of day 13 of this challenge, so I thought I would spice up the adventure by 100% completing the game on Hero Mode. The waves of nostalgia rush over us as we make our way through the Forsaken Fortress, and shortly after we clear Dragon Roost Cavern, we then do some side quests and bid for the Swift Sail, and then it is onwards to Forest Haven. We start off the day by entering Forest Haven and talking to the Great Deku Tree. We obtain the Deku Leaf and start making our way into the Forbidden Woods. We get the Boomerang from this dungeon and then we do the funny on the boss. After that we go get bombs and our last pearl and then whack this lad 500 times without failing. Yup. Today we played hide and seek at Windfall Island before placing the 3 pearls on their respective islands to unlock Tower of the Gods. Before we go anywhere, we whacked Mr. Swordman 1,000 times and only get $200 from it. Going into the Tower of the Gods, we get the Hero's Bow and then the Master Sword, and tomorrow we save Errol from the Forsaken Fortress. Today we go to the Forsaken Fortress to save Errol and then beat up the Helmarok King. After learning about the Triforce and Hyrule, we proceed to not go to any temples today and rather focus on side quests. Tomorrow we'll go to the Earth Temple, for sure. Today we start off heading right into the Earth Temple and we nab the Mirror Shield and beat up some Redeads. Then after powering up the Master Sword, we go to the Savage Labyrinth and we died on the last floor. Dear God. In a fit of rage, we decide to enter the Wind Temple as well. We nab the Hookshot and fully power up the Master Sword, and now it's time for some side quests. Today we decided to focus on small things. We go into a trading quest to get magic armor, then we get our revenge against the Savage Labyrinth. We then proceed to get all the Triforce pieces somehow, and tomorrow we finish getting our full 20 hearts. We spend today getting our heart count up from a measly 15 to almost 19. What happened to the last 2? We don't talk about it. But hey, we beat the game tomorrow, so that's cool. You know those 2 hearts we missed yesterday? We got them, but now it's time to fight Ganon. Time to use the bottle again, beat up Puppet Ganon, and then move on to the regular Ganondorf fight, and holy moly, he's dead. More importantly, tomorrow it's time for Twilight Princess. Time to start Twilight Princess. Just like with Wind Waker, I'll be getting all 20 hearts and items. We go Goten, and then, wolf time. After meeting up with Zelda, we head to the Forest Temple and nab the Gale Boomerang, then do some puzzle solving to defeat the boss of the temple. We make our way to Kakariko Village, and hoo boy, I sure hope nothing bad happens here. Oh look, it's the stage from Smash! A few matches of sumo later, we enter the Goron Mines and nab the bow, fight Virus, and become a world-class sniper. Today it's time for Lake Hylia and Zora's Domain. After nabbing the Zora Tunic, we try the Kuko minigame for 20 minutes. But after that, we enter the Lake Bed Temple and nab the Claw Shot, and we're still in the Lake Bed Temple. Today we finish up the Lake Bed Temple and fight Morpheal. We get owned epic style before heading to the Sacred Grove to get the Master Sword. What is this puzzle? And then we go to Gerudo Desert and reach the Arbiter's Grounds. Today we play through the Arbiter's Grounds and nab the Beyblade. After defeating the boss, we head off to Snow Peak right after we catch some fish. We fail at snowboarding twice, but now we are at the Abandoned Mansion. Today we go to the Abandoned Mansion and nab the Ball and Chain. After healing up Yetta, we challenge them to snowboarding and fail twice. We go on a boat ride and nab some more bombs, and then make our way to the Temple of Time. Fairly simple today. Temple of Time, Dominion Rod, Goma, find the cats. Now we make our way to City in the Sky. Today we enter the City in the Sky and nab our second Claw Shot. I must say it's probably my favorite dungeon in the game. We beat up the dragon and restore the Twilight Mirror. Heading into the Twilight Palace, we nab some balls, power up the Master Sword, and absolutely murk Zant, dear lord. And tomorrow we beat the game. Today we get our final 2 hidden skills and make our way through Hyrule Castle and go fight Zelda with the bottle, fight Dark Beast Ganon, and then move on to actual Ganon, and oh boy, he's dead. Now we move on to Skyward Sword. Today we start up Skyward Sword and get pushed off a cliff twice. We say hello to Fi and nab the Goddess Sword before heading into Faron Woods. And Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Oh boy, I'll be streaming that. Continuing on to Skyward Sword today, nope, it's Nintendo Direct time. Tears of the Kingdom looks real neat, but we'll do the Skyview Temple tomorrow for sure. Now we finally decide to run through the Skyview Temple as well as nabbing the beetle, and after making our way to the spring and unlocking the Elden region, we go play with bombs a bit too much and end up right in front of the Earth Temple. Time for the Earth Temple. We nab the bombs and beat up Mike Wazowski, then proceed to gamble all of our money away again. But after traveling back and forth in time, we enter the Lanayru mining facility, we nab the Gust Bellows, and then get owned. We make our way through the rest of the Lanayru mining facility and meet up with Zelda for a few seconds before fighting the imprisoned and learning about the Gate of Time. Heading into our first Silent Realm, we clear it first try, thankfully. Oh my god. Then meet up with the Water Dragon and enter the Ancient Cistern. Ancient Cistern time. We nab the whip and fight Koloktos, and oh boy, yup. Now heading to Lanayru, we do another Silent Realm and we nab the Claw Shots and Fun Island. Yep, sure, that sure is. Today we head into the Lanayru Desert to find our second Sacred Flame, which leads us to the Sand Ship, one of my favorite dungeons. After nabbing the bow and completing the dungeon, we head to the Elden region and do the Silent Realm there. Final Sacred Flame time. The Fire Sanctuary was great, and after talking with Zelda, we fully power up the Master Sword, then proceed to learn about the location of the Triforce as we go under the sea and get ready to help out the Thunder Dragon and beat the game tomorrow. Today we start out trying to get the Hylian shield, and nope. Then we head over to get our last remaining pieces of the hero song before doing one more silent realm. But after clearing Skykeep, we fight lots of monsters and then get ready to fight Demise, and the fight goes how you would expect. With Skyward Sword finished, now it's time for Breath of the Wild. Well, that about covers it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on stream.